Hi, I'm Stu from Hive Mind Automation and welcome back to the Hive. In this video, I'm going to be taking a look at this Holman Wi-Fi tap timer control starter pack. As always, we're going to take a look around the box. We're going to see what's in the box. We're going to see how it looks in the native app. And then we're going to see if we can make it work with Home Assistant. So while I roll the intro, why don't you take a moment to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you get notified when I release new videos each week. And while you're at it, check out my affiliate links to buy some of the gadgets that you've seen me review in previous videos and other ways to support the channel, like signing up for NordVPN using my link, or by contributing through my Buy Me a Coffee link. With all of that out of the way, let's get started. So in the quest for something resembling automated garden irrigation without having to remortgage the house or spend weeks on end designing and building a custom DIY solution, we came across this Wi-Fi tap timer starter kit at Bunnings for $99. Now we've already got some of the old style analog tap timers, the clockwork mechanism, they're fairly cheap and effective. I think we got a 2-pack for about $19 from Bunnings a while back. The obvious difference here is that we're interacting with the tap timer remotely. And so we could do this from anywhere in the world, and being that it's digital, we can also set schedules. And with some luck, we'll be able to set it up in Home Assistant and then make those schedules a bit smarter. For example, setting up an automation to water the garden, but only if there's no rain in the forecast for the next 48 hours, just as an example. We're not going to be getting into that in this video, but we will take a look in another video. So be sure to get subscribed so you don't miss out on that. This starter kit includes the Wi-Fi hub and one WX1 smart tap timer. And it's worth mentioning that you can also get additional WX1 tap timers for $79. And there's a starter kit that includes a WX2, which is a dual outlet tap timer for $159. Oddly enough, though, I can't seem to find the WX2 for sale separately on the Bunnings website. Now, some research that I've done on the internet does suggest that the Holman Smart Tap ecosystem is, in fact, a Tuya ecosystem. And that's both good and bad news at the same time. The bad news first, as with all Tuya devices, it's going to rely on the cloud for our initial configuration, and it's not yet easy to say whether that currently presents a privacy risk or just has the potential to. It also obviously means that if the internet is down, it does make watering your plants a manual process again. The good news, though, is that because it's Tuya, you're not actually locked into using the Holman native app. You can just use the Tuya Smart or Smart Life app and you'll get the same interface as we've seen before with the Arlec Data Grid Connect accessories, the Brilliant Lighting Smart accessories, and the other Tuya-based products that we've looked at in previous videos. Additionally, because it's based on Tuya, depending on how the unit appears in Tuya, we might actually be able to make use of local Tuya, which we looked at in a previous video, to interact with the accessory. And I'll be investigating that possibility a bit later on in the video. So let's take a quick look around the box. So on the front of the box, we see we've got Holman Wi-Fi tap timer control. We've got the Wi-Fi hub and the WX1 smartphone control with Wi-Fi. And looking at the depiction of the app here, it says that we can track our water usage, which is interesting. That means that it must have a flow meter in there. And it says that we can connect your garden with Holman Home. Includes the Wi-Fi hub. It is a starter pack and it's got the smart approved watermark, and there's the website there. On this side we see a picture of the different units and some details. That the package includes one Wi-Fi hub and socket and one WX1 tap timer. We see that it requires 4 AA batteries, not included, and I've got myself 4 AA batteries here, and that's for the tap timer. The tap timer needs the Wi-Fi hub, and use the hub indoors only. It's IP54 dust and water rated for the tap timer only, with a 100 meter 917 megahertz range between the hub and the tap timer. Maximum working pressure is between 30 to 1200 kilopascals. 3 degrees Celsius minimum working temperature. I'm guessing any lower than that it gets frost and ice inside. 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi only, which isn't a big surprise there. And app interface and function may differ from what is shown. That's all fine, and we've got a QR code to scan for support. We've got a 2-year guarantee and some details of the business. On the very back of the box, again, we've got a depiction of the app, control from anywhere Wi-Fi connected, the Wi-Fi hub and socket, and it says it can control the power socket via the smartphone in addition to the WX1 tap timer. So that's interesting that this Wi-Fi gateway is also a smart switch. So we'll play around with that as well. And we can also see that we can control up to 4 WX1 tap timers with just the one Wi-Fi hub. And we can download on the App Store and Google Play. Plug the Wi-Fi hub into the power outlet, add Holman Home on your smartphone, link the tap timer through Holman Home. And lastly, on this side, we've again got some details about what's in the box. So the heart of your Wi-Fi watering system, connect your WX1 tap timers to access watering from your smartphone and control your watering with ease. This unit simply connects to your Wi-Fi hub, accessing watering controls and data. It's worth mentioning that we see here as well that we've got water flow and water usage sensors here. So that will be interesting to see how that works. So with the tour around the box out of the way, let's open it up and take a look at the units themselves. Now there's a sticky dot here on a little cardboard flap. I've already peeled the sticky dot out of the way to check that everything was in here. I'm going to open up the top of the box, and we have the hub in here, and so we've got the hub in here, which has a little button on front. It's just a plug through, and there's a QR code for support on the back. Maximum load current of 10 amps, input voltage 220 to 240 volts, and output 220 to 240 volts, all at 50 hertz. So that is our Wi-Fi hub, and I'll pull out the tap timer itself, and as we look around, so there's a button on the front, inlet at the top, outlet at the bottom, and there's this square at the bottom. If we pull that out, we get access to the battery compartment. So I'll just pop that back in loosely for now. I'll pop that over on this camera. And we also get a little hose adapter in the kit as well. So we can just screw that onto the bottom of the tap timer. Okay, there's that. And there was also a quick start guide in there as well. I'll just check where we're at with that. That all looks pretty straightforward. So let's take a closer look at these. Now, the build quality feels okay. I'd say it's about on par with the Arlec Grid Connect smart plugs. Does feel a little bit on the cheap side. It feels like it's a polycarbonate plastic. Hard to really say. I imagine that's probably because this especially is designed to go outdoors. There's not really much to say about either of these units. I mean, I've already pointed out the battery compartment on this one, and this one as well has not a lot to say for it. So I'm just going to pop some batteries into the battery compartment for the tap timer. We'll plug in the Wi-Fi bridge, and then we will open up Tuya Smart and see how everything looks. So I'll just plug the Wi-Fi bridge in over here, and I'm going to open up Tuya Smart, and I'm going to tap the plus button in the top right hand corner, and we'll go add device, and let's see what I can find in here. Industry and agriculture, there we go. Water valve controller, I'll go for Wi-Fi, and we are connected to force. I'll tap next, and we'll confirm the indicator is blinking rapidly. I'm going to see if we can add that tap timer. So while we're doing that, I'm going to plug in the battery compartment to the tap timer. It only goes in one way, which is helpful. And now that the batteries are in, we just saw a couple of flashes on the ring around the button there. Okay, so in Tuya Smart, we have found the Wi-Fi hub. I'm going to tap to add this device, and it's added successfully. I'm going to change the name of that to, we'll call that Holman hub. And we'll just tap done on that, and then done on that. And then if I open up the Holman hub, it says that it allows you to connect up to 4 tap timers and 1 Wi-Fi socket. So WX2 tap timers will only connect to Wi-Fi hubs 1.2.8 and above. To view your Wi-Fi hub version, choose the pencil icon, device update, and main module version. So I'll choose the pencil icon, and we see all the same stuff that we always would see inside a Tuya Smart device. So if I tap device information, I'm just going to copy this virtual ID because I'm going to need that a bit later on when I try Tuya Smart. And we can show device update, and it shows main module 1.2.8. So it would support the dual port one if we wanted to. I'm just going to back out here to the main screen, and we're going to tap add view devices. And it says no devices found, tap add devices to start. So I'll tap add devices. And how do I put the device into pairing mode? And we can choose something from this list. So I'm going to go grab water valve controller. So power on the device, power off after 10 seconds, then power on again. Hold the reset button for 5 seconds. So I'm going to hold the front button here for 5 seconds. And we can see that the ring is blinking rapidly. I'll tap confirm the indicator is blinking rapidly. It says make sure the device is in pairing mode. It's trying to pair. And 2 devices have been successfully added. So we've got a Wi-Fi socket and a WX1 tap timer. I'm going to tap done, and we can see both of those in there. We've got the tap timer and the Wi-Fi socket. I'm going to change the name on the Wi-Fi socket. I'm going to call it Holman Wi-Fi socket, and tap done, and then we'll tap done on there. And if I back out now, so if I back out now to the main screen, we see we've got the WX1 tap timer and the Holman Wi-Fi socket and the Holman hub listed here. So I'll grab the, see if I can get the Holman hub in frame. I'm going to turn that on and off. So that works as you would expect. If I open up the app, we've basically just got power and a schedule. So nothing really super exciting there. But if I dig into the device details and device information, and if I copy that, I'm just going to paste that into a note that I've got here. And it looks like we've got a very slightly different device ID from the main hub, so that's interesting. And there's again not too much else exciting in here. We've got our third-party control for Amazon and Google Assistants, and we've got our usual stuff, so share, create group, FAQ, and add to home screen, tap to run an automation, and device review. I'll back out. Obviously, the one that we really want to be taking a look at is the Holman WX1, the tap timer. So I'm going to open up that screen there, and let's see what we've got in here. So we can switch from imperial to metric. So we've got Celsius and metric flow, so liters, or we've got the Fahrenheit and gallons. I'll leave this on metric, obviously. And this screen is just the status, but we've got manual watering, so we can set a timer for a number of minutes. So I'll just set that to 1, and I'm going to tap. So I'm going to tap play on that 1 minute timer, and we hear a pretty epic click, and the light is flashing. I think that light flashing suggests that it is actually watering. So if I go back to status, we can see the tap timer status says watering manually. So that's manual watering. If I go to starts, we can set some timer settings here. So if we go to start A, we can do this in 24-hour time. We can go water, and we'll go starts at, let's say, 9 a.m. And our run time will make 1 minute. And we can repeat that on whatever days we like, and then we can save that and back out. So we've got that 1 minute runtime starts at 9, and we can set up to 3 of those. And we can also set a rain delay here. So if I tap that rain delay, that's going to delay the watering by 24 hours, 48 hours, or 72 hours. We've got sensor in here. Now, this is not, there's 2 different sensors shown here. You've got both soil and water flow, and the soil sensor is a separate purchase. I'm not sure if those are available at Bunnings. I will have to take a closer look. But we can tap on water flow here, and you'll be able to see the water flow. Now, because I haven't actually put this onto the tap yet, you'll see nothing in here, but I will try to capture this data a little bit later on. And you'll see we've got a help, so WX1 tap timer help and contact us. Back on the status screen, because I set that delay, you saw we've got watering delayed. I'm going to turn off that delay in the starts section here, go back to status, and it's just showing not watering because that 1 minute timer has expired. The last thing here is to tap on the pencil edit button in the top right hand corner, and we'll take a closer look here. And I'm going to tap device information, and I'm going to copy the virtual ID, and I'm just going to paste that into my notes. I'm going to use that a bit later on to try and grab the local key for local Tuya. Again, there's not too much in here to look at. There's tap to run an automation. We've got Alexa and Google Assistant, and we've got share device, FAQ and feedback, and add to home screen. So that's the Tuya Smart app. Let's see if we can get this into Home Assistant. So over on my Home Assistant instance here, I'm going to go to configuration, and then I'm going to go to devices and services, and I'm going to find my cloud Tuya instance here. Click the 3-dot stack and reload. We had 17 and 51. Let's see if this updates. So the integration was reloaded. We now have 20 and 52 entities. So if I go to 20 devices, and I'm going to just search for Holman, So we've got Holman hub and Holman Wi-Fi socket in here. So I'll grab the Wi-Fi socket and I'll try and get that in frame here. And from Home Assistant, I will click this button and it turned on and it turned off. Okay, so that is working. There's the standard roughly half a second delay between when we click the button and then see the action occur. If I drill in and look at the controls here, there's not a whole lot available. It is just a switch. It doesn't appear to have any energy monitoring or anything available in attributes. So if we head back to devices now, I'm going to search for WX1 and we see we've got WX1 tap timer through Tuya. And if I drill in here, we have no controls. So the WX1 tap timer is unsupported by Tuya on Home Assistant, which is disappointing to say the least. Okay, so I've run my script and I now have the local keys for local Tuya. So I'm going to go to configuration, devices and services, add integration and search for local Tuya. And I'm going to click on that and I'm just going to click on the menu item. And so in here, I'm looking for BF6A. This will be it here. This will be the Holman hub. So I'm going to tap submit on that. I'm going to call this Holman water hub. And I'm going to paste my local key in here and click submit. Failed to authenticate. I'll try protocol 3.1 and click submit on that. Unknown error occurred. So trying to connect to the hub didn't work. I'm going to try the device ID for the smart socket and I'll hit submit. That's not working either. And I'll try the device ID for the tap timer. That's not working either. So there you have it, the Holman Wi-Fi hub and WX1 starter kit. Now at $97, it's not exactly cheap for the starter kit, but it is still one of the cheapest ways to get started with smart irrigation. And as a turnkey solution, I think it's probably not the worst way to get started in smart irrigation. Though it's clear now that it does have some limitations. The first limitation in this iteration at least is that it's only a single zone and the one hub is going to be limited to up to 4 tap timers, which is actually not too bad. The ability to track the water flow and consumption is interesting too. It would be even more interesting if we could explore the possibility of using that functionality to dispense a set volume of water, though I suspect the polling rate for this sensor might not be fast enough to be particularly accurate. If you wanted to look for something else, a comparable device that I have seen is the Eve Aqua, and the Eve Aqua does have the benefit of being a HomeKit native device and it uses Thread. That said, it is also a standalone unit without the need for a hub. That said, to my knowledge, it currently only works with Apple HomeKit. And the other thing with the Eve Aqua as a downside is that the cheapest I've seen it is $159. Because the Eve Aqua is a standalone unit, that's per unit. So it doesn't ever get any cheaper as you expand your system. Whereas with the Holman system, the starter kit is $97, but additional units can be bought for $79. Now, if you want to see a review of the Eve Aqua, let me know in the comments section down below. And consider contributing to my Buy Me a Coffee while you're at it, because as mentioned, those are not exactly cheap. Final thoughts on the Holman tap timer. As I mentioned before, I think it's a good turnkey solution, but it does have its obvious downsides. I think the ability to just press a button and have it start watering is pretty great. And also the ability to control it from an iPhone app and set a set timer is pretty great as well. That said, I don't know that we're really gaining that much over those clockwork timers, other than the fact that we can do this remotely. As I said before, as a turnkey solution, I think it's actually pretty okay. I'm very disappointed that the WX1 tap timer is unsupported in Home Assistant, considering the interaction with the unit could basically just be an on-off switch. I'm very disappointed that we weren't able to get that into Home Assistant, even when we tried to use local Tuya. I'm very, very disappointed that local Tuya wasn't able to do anything for us there either. The app has some idiosyncrasies as well that I've seen. It's very difficult to grab the handle when it's at 59 minutes, and you have to tap around the clock face, if you like, to try to get it off 59 minutes. I do think that it has its place, but I think for $99 it's probably a little on the overpriced side. I would have liked to have seen some more functionality both in the app and from the unit itself for that amount of money, or at least better build quality. I'm well aware that it is possibly the cheapest option available for smart watering, but I think that for $97, I would expect a little bit more functionality. Don't get me wrong, I'm not suffering any buyer's regret. I'm still looking forward to using this to water the garden, and I think it will make life a little bit easier. So that's all we have for this video, and I do hope that it helped you in your home automation journey. Be sure to comment down below with home automation ideas you'd like to see me cover in future videos. Don't forget, while you're at it, to also follow HiveMind Automation on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And if you like this video, hit the thumbs up button down below to give it a like. And if you're not already subscribed, please consider subscribing now. While you're at it, if you hit the bell icon, you'll also get a notification when I release new videos each week. And if you're looking for a VPN provider, there is an affiliate link for NordVPN in the video description as well. I've chosen to partner with NordVPN because they've got the best infrastructure of any of the VPN providers I've looked into, a strict no logs policy, and servers all over the planet. On top of that, they've got apps for just about every platform around, including Windows, Mac, Linux, iOS, and Android. So no matter what platform you're using, wherever you are on the planet, you can protect your personal information while you browse the web. So get a VPN today and use my link below to sign up for NordVPN. Lastly, if you like what I'm doing here and you want to help to support the channel, there is a Buy Me a Coffee link in the video description down below. Contributions made through the Buy Me a Coffee link are put towards making more and better content for you to enjoy. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Stu from HiveMind Automation, and I'm looking forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.